The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, was created in response to early Soviet space advancements. It was built on the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, among other government organizations, and was where most of the focus on aerospace research and development occurred. It officially opened on October 1, 1958 and immediately began working on robotic, and, more importantly, human, spaceflight. Their first main program was Project Mercury, which was an attempt to test whether or not humans could survive in space. Afterwards, Project Gemini began development on technology to take people to the Moon, a program whose work was completed by Project Apollo in 1969. The Space Shuttle program, which was developed in the mid-1970s, was the bridge to the construction of the International Space Station. NASA now uses the experiments on the ISS to discover more about the way our world works and the Hubble to discover more about outer space, from our solar system to the billions of galaxies that we share the universe with. NASA researches and develops technological advancements for human spaceflight, aeronautics, space science, and space applications such as use of satellites in our everyday lives. Today, NASA's biggest project is developing a space economy and exploring the possibility of getting human life on Mars. To aid the President and the United States, NASA creates jobs and contributes to international cooperation. While it was made to compete with the Soviets' advancements in space technology, the two now no longer have the space race forcing competition between the two. The International Space Station was built with many contributions from countries all over the world, and astronauts from many different countries have had the opportunity to work there. With the exception of that one time in 2014, when the Russians took the American astronauts hostage in the ISS, cooperation between the countries has run rather smoothly. NASA's work on launch vehicles, communication satellites, and weather satellites has changed the way we see ourselves and the universe while also facilitating the development of technology to make daily life easier. Whole new industries have been created out of this new way of thinking. In addition, NASA produces the Aeronautics and Space Report of the President. The National Aeronautics and Space Act of 1958 directs NASA to produce an annual report that includes a comprehensive description of the programmed activities and the accomplishments of all agencies of the United States in the field of aeronautics and space activities during the preceding calendar year. The head of the agency is Major General Charles Frank Bolden, Jr., who was nominated by President Barack Obama and began his duties on July 17, 2009. As administrator, Bolden heads and directs NASA in the best way to fulfill the missions and goals of the U.S. space program. And on the 8th day, God said, "Let this video be concluded."